Okay. Starting off today's podcast with heavy breathing.
What if we just did that for like the rest of every show ever? Like you just talked about topics, but I just did that.
You have breathed heavily into the mic the whole time. Well, welcome back to Podcast Breathely, where you listen to this podcast when we breathe. That's not the name of the podcast.
We do, we do breathe in these. Actually, we could if we completely rebranded to Streams Breathely, like it still makes sense because we do that. We do that.
Somehow we'd get unlucky and one of us would die of asphyxiation,
and that's when we blow up because like people will be like, "These guys are false advertising. One of them's not even fucking breathing."
Oh my god! Well, that's kind of relevant to what we're going to be talking about in today's podcast because there's a bunch of drama. This show's called Drama Alert now. That's what it is. It's a drama podcast. Not actually any serious drama that anyone should give a shit about, but that's kind of the only stuff we ever talk about is stuff that people shouldn't give a shit about, probably. So first things first. An old lady got cross in the UK, and I just wanted to look at it because it's really funny.
It is a funny.
Have
video
you've seen this clip, haven't you?
I've already seen it. Yeah.
If you can't see the video version of this podcast, which you can get on YouTube and Kick and Spotify, actually, if you want to catch it live, it's YouTube and Kick, but the video recording is on Spotify too. You can see it even if you'll still be able to hear what's going on if you're doing audio only. Basically, this old lady just turned up at this person's car and just starts chatting shit.
The window's down a bit, and she has her like hands hooked like a gremlin. Like a gremlin in the window. She looks like she wants to like pull the window out so she can get at the guy.
Yeah. And she says this.
Please. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Go away.
Well, be the fucking Zimbabwe, you stupid little pimp.
Get
away from here.
I don't know. She said something to do with Zimbabwe, you stupid little pimp.
She's like, this isn't Zimbabwe, you stupid little pimp. Get out of here.
What the fuck? I just think it was so funny how the voice transformed from, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Please.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Go away.
What do you mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, the guy's like, go away, I don't know who you are.
What do you...
I'm in my car. And then she lunges in and tries to grab the dude's phone. It's like, it's my phone in my car. In what world do you think that you're in any right here? Yeah. And it's just like, this isn't Zimbabwe. What?
The voice change is crazy.
Yeah, like,
Fucking Zimbabwe, you stupid little pimp.
It is Zimbabwe, you stupid little pimp. What the
Get out of here! I'll be honest, the first time I watched this, when she did that and a voice changed like that, I for a second was like, oh my god, this is actually a man.
I did as well.
Yeah.
It still could be.
Yeah.
Still could be. No idea.
Get away from here.
It's that bit. It's that bit that sounds like a man.
Get away from here!
Oh, this bit.
Away from here.
Yeah, that sounds like a dude.
Anyway.
That sounds like a dude.
So that's the first bit of drama we've got going on. That's the first thing. But also something that you might be interested in, Jen. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen it yet, but I've been planning to put it on at some point.
Someone has done a documentary about Buggy 2988, and lots of people have been talking about this documentary. I saw it come up. And I've seen more shocking documentaries, don't get me wrong, but I kind of thought, oh shit, I've got about 50 minutes to spare before I go to bed, I'll watch this. And I couldn't fucking sleep after it, to be honest. It's not because there's some really horrific, there is some quite bad stuff that's in it, but it's just like, fucking hell.
What?
It is sad. It's just fucking sad, and it's like, it's sad in such a blend that's not terribly far removed from normal people's lives.
Yeah.
It's not like he's fucking currently on heroin and like having to fucking suck people off to survive or something like that. He's still got quite a nice house and all that sort of thing, but he's like struggling with some real shit, but in like a really bad way that you can see, like, fucking hell. Like,
Yeah.
it's. I don't want to spoil anything about it.
They'll probably talk about it in the documentary, but the last thing I saw about Boogie was when that dude showed up at his house and he pulled a gun on him.
Well, we watched him fight. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah,
a
we also
boxing
saw
fight.
that. Yeah.
It reveals how much he got paid for that
Yeah.
in this. Do you want to know how much, or would you rather save it?
No, tell me, go on.
10k.
Okay, that's not great.
So
is
it's
it?
not for him, for someone with over 4 million subs.
Yeah.
You should be looking at maybe 50k.
Yeah.
But fucking hell.
Yeah.
Especially when like that's such a big novelty fight, people should be pretty interested in that. Yeah, so 10k, whilst not terrible for someone like that, that's still, nearly half my yearly wage, but fucking hell. So yeah, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to say, like, if you, I think you will probably want to watch this at some point, but not before bed. Make sure you watch some happier stuff before bed, just to kind of make up for it. Because like I say, it's just that it's in that specific relatable, but it's as bad as it could be while still being relatable, if that makes sense.
Like he's not taking out his dirty penis and rubbing it on children.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, well,
shout out to Greasy again for joining the chat live. Kick and YouTube, everyone. Join live if you want to listen to the podcast recording there. But so that's like, I don't know, just shout out to that, because fucking hell. It's honestly, it makes you want to kill yourself. And speaking of kill yourself, Reddit got very concerned about me recently. So I've been playing. I'm gonna say I'm a fan of Apex Legends.
Yeah, no.
I think more reasonably I can say that I have been a fan of Apex Legends, and I currently support a team on Apex as well. Currently they've got a Post Malone themed event on, and there's kind of a bunch of stuff to do with it, but the main interesting thing is there's a limited time game mode on it. If you've ever played Apex Legends, it's a battle royale first-person shooter with 3 people on a team. On this game mode, you respawn from the sky 3 times and can get revived next to instantly if you ever get knocked down. If you don't really know what I'm talking about, it's going to take some context of playing Apex, basically, to understand. But I think this game mode is shit, right? I hate it. It's my least favourite game mode, I think, in Apex ever. And there's other game. It's so weird how much of a different opinion I have to the majority when it comes to all this sort of thing. There was a mode that was arenas, a bit similar to like Counter-Strike 3v3s, that people just didn't like for some reason. That's my favourite mode that's ever been in Apex. I just can't understand why people are how they are. So, what I thought I would do is I'll come out of Reddit retirement, because I've already quit Reddit once for being toxic as fuck, and I'll be as nice as possible, and I'll ask what people like about it. Would you like to? You can read out what the post I made. Don't read all of this. Just read the title here and then the description there. Oops.
I'm sorry, this is just so much funnier when you can see the thing before this. JJ told me not to read out. Anyway, let me read this. I've seen a lot of people really loving the current LTM, limited time mode, yeah. Especially on Twitter. I honestly don't understand it. To me, it just breeds clusterfucks where nobody can really make decent, satisfying plays and decisions to have a fair game. Looks like rolling the dice to me. Makes me think there must be something I'm missing if so many people like it. Can someone enlighten me?
So I tried to frame it like, I'm not in the right here. Yeah. I must be wrong. Yeah. If so many people are thinking that, I don't actually believe that. I think a lot of the time the vast majority of people are wrong. But, try to give a benefit of the doubt. And say, I must be in the wrong here. What am I missing? Help me understand. Help me love this game as much as everyone else does, basically. Mm-hmm. This has ended up with 160 comments on it.
And how many upvotes does it have, Jake?
16. 16.
Oh no!
But this is what blows my mind about
Literally,
people on Reddit.
there was 160 people that said something about this, and 10% of them gave this an upvote.
One of those is me, by the way, because it automatically upvotes
Yeah,
your own
it
posts.
does. It does. Yeah.
But what blows my mind about this is like, what is there to downvote about this?
Yeah.
Because I'm just asking what's good about the mode. You know,
Yeah.
if you disagree with me on it, then that's not something to hate. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't think these people have been coming in and necessarily downvoting it. It's just the fact that everybody's had something to say, and barely anything. Like 10% of them have upvoted the thing.
Well, I'll start with the negative and end on the
Okay.
positive, I think. There's so many. I mean, look how many downvotes I get on some of these things. Minus negative 24.
Yeah.
Because someone said, the most voted comment, we'll go through the most voted one, says, I enjoy it because it blends both play styles. I can isolated and get loot. Great grammar there. But there still is 19 teams left. Middle parties cluster duck with non-stop action. Full stop. And if you make it to endgame, there is plenty of teams left with one life, so people will go back to playing smart. Right. There's other comments that look like they were first before that, but they weren't. I was the first person to reply, that's saying, what are the styles it blends? Like, what do you mean by it blends both play styles?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand what they mean. Do they mean playing safely versus playing, aggressively? Sorry, I'll put it on the screen. This is my Reddit here. It's that one. So I said, what? It's because, and then I explained why I'm asking that. It seems to me that nearly fights end impossible multi-team battles, and that's about it. That's what it looked like. We played a couple games before this of this mode so that I could demonstrate to Judd how the games play out. And how did they end?
Yeah, everybody just jumped right on the same spot, and like there was, I ran out of ammo before I could fucking do anything because I was fighting so many people.
You
It's
literally
like,
fighting 21 people off at once.
yeah,
Like, we counted them. We counted how many teams turned up to fight. It's not an exaggeration. That's like 21 people at once is insane. So, endgame one spawns are disabled. And then I just, every comment I made is downvoted into oblivion because this is the main problem I had. Someone will say, oh, because the games play out like this. Or they'll give you advice to win. I'm not asking about that. I'm not asking how to win this mode. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm asking what's good about it. And then, so they'll say how it plays out. Let me see if I can find another one that kind of... it's the most consistent game mode. We've got to help train yourself. I don't understand that at all, because how can you train yourself at fighting teams well when you're fighting everyone on the planet at once? There's no training there. It'd be like me trying to train for an amateur boxing fight while I'm tied up and Mike Tyson just punches me in the head repeatedly. Oh, great training that is. You can't do that. It encourages smart, aggressive pushers. As you saw, Judd, any push, everyone's on you at once. Yeah. So I was getting a bit frustrated with that one, so I said, no offense, because I really didn't want to be offensive, but I thought that's going to be the worst take. Yeah. And then people end up writing novels about, all of that, and I get downvoted into oblivion. So I'm not going to read out all these comments, because if I scroll down this page, Judd can see like how many paragraphs of people being cunts there are on me talking about that. What I do want to do is read out a couple of my favourite comments, or Judd can read them out actually. So
everyone is giving.
Wait! Don't read it in the Reddit voice.
Everyone is giving this nerd multiple. He sounds like Muscle Man from regular show.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to do it like Muscle Man. Everyone is giving this nerd multiple reason why it's fun, and his only response is bad take, game bad. Like, bro, we get it. You're Dog Warner. Next time, just don't make a post about it and stop playing the game. Problem solved. You know who else is Dog Warner? My mom.
Okay,
I've
never seen that
that's what he says.
So, this is obviously just being a dickhead for no reason. But it's like, The thing that this idiot's not getting is no one's given multiple reasons why it's fun. All they were doing was saying, "Oh, games play out like this," when they don't. And then I've said, "No, they don't. They play out like this," and they're like, "Oh!" And it's like, oh my god! And it's like someone will say, "Oh, you do this, you do this, you do this," and blah 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 blah. And I'll say, "No, you don't. That's not how it works." And also, you can't do any of that. And it's like impossible to say otherwise. Like there's just no way. And then like there's I knew I was gonna get variations of get good. You know, and it's such, and I know the whole point of that in general normally is to troll someone and piss them off, but it does piss me off. I can't lie. It pisses me off. And it's, I honestly don't get what people enjoy about going, "Oh, just get good." I swear to God, if anyone actually tried to employ that to me in real life, I would fucking rearrange their brain structure. They'd be drooling for months. Honestly, it pisses me off like crazy. How can the joy that you get out of someone trying to talk about something they're interested in be to enrage them? Like, that's just literally evil. Like, that is genuinely just actually evil. And so, anyway, so that obviously is, I don't know, it's one of the more insulting, funnier ones. There was worse insulting ones than that, but anyway. This one.
Who let the 7-year-old have a Reddit? All I've read from them is whining about how it's impossible and they refuse to adapt.
But it is impossible. and they completely miss the multiple comments I've set that I wrote on it saying, it is possible to win. You can do it. You know, it's possible to come out of the fights on top. You can do it. But because of how much of a clusterfuck it ends up being, if you do come out on top, the biggest reason why, by far, is because you got fucking lucky, not because of being good. And that's why I argue it's a shit game mode, because it doesn't promote people actually trying to play the game well, for a start. Like, you know, it's ridiculous. It's like, if it was a good game mode, why? Oh, let's have it be the competition then. Let's have ALGS be this mode.
Yeah.
Why not? Everyone would fucking hate that, because it's a terrible idea. So it's like, I understand trying to adapt. You can adapt as much as you want, but when you're fighting off 21 people at once, you're gonna fucking die unfairly. So it's nothing to do with adapting. You can be the best adapting person at once. It's still impossible. And whining about it, it's like, yeah, that's the point. I don't like the mode. What did you think I was doing? What did you think my problem was? It's like, I can rearrange what he said. All I've heard from this person is saying that this game mode's bad and thinking that it's like, yes, it is bad. This is what I'm trying to understand. Fucking hell. So it's, anyway, out of the 160 comments that happened, one explained it well. One. And a couple kind of explained it well. And I made sure to acknowledge them and say, you know, this is actually a good answer. So would you like to read out the actual good explanation that someone left, just so we can acknowledge that?
And this person talks like a normal person, do they?
They talk like an intellectual.
It does, but for some people that randomness makes it a lot more fun. Winning the game when the last fight still has 6 squads left in my circle can feel great.
In a tiny circle, not in my circle.
Sorry. Jesus. Despite the fact that it was a clusterfuck and an almost entirely luck-based, especially when it's a temporary mode, it can be a good break from playing more seriously. Being more luck-based can also give players who aren't as good a chance to do well. It's not uncommon for games that require more skill to be less popular than more casual games that aren't. TLDR, people like different things.
So that explains it, basically. People don't give a shit about taking it seriously and wanting to win a game. That's what I prefer and enjoy. That's why I typically would prefer ranked if people would take it seriously and try and play it, which they don't. But basically, it reminded me of when we played Overwatch, and I kind of liked it, even though it's the same thing, basically. It's a clusterfuck and you get lucky. And it's just a bunch of flashing lights, you go brrrr and hope for the
Half
best.
the time you can't move because 6 different characters have used fucking CCs on you, so...
Yeah. So this is the thing, like, I kind of liked it because it was funny how stupid and shit it was. It was just going, brrrr, and it's like you can be mindless, and you can be a hell of a lot more casual. If people's responses were, because it's so chaotic and you can't really do much to influence fights, I can turn my brain off a lot more and I can find it a much more casual, silly type of game to be playing.
Yeah.
Silly can be a lot of fun. Great, cool, lovely, explained, I'm happy. But 160 people decided to be cunts instead!
Yeah.
So, I'm glad that at least one got there, but basically, what this resulted in was I ended up getting a private message from Reddit because someone had reported my account, and Reddit had sent me this message that Judd will read out.
Hi there, a concerned Redditor. I've already seen this, by the way. I thought this was fucking hilarious. Hi there, a concerned Redditor reached out to us about you. When you're in the middle of something painful, it may feel like you don't have a lot of options. But whatever you're going through, you deserve help, and there are people who are here for you. They told you off to Reddit and basically said that you're going to kill yourself.
They literally sent me to r/suicide watch.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Honestly, I asked. So, long story short, I don't like him. This is the new game mode on Reddit. Asked why the most people seem to be liking it. Got a bunch of abuse and got told I should go to suicide prevention. Fucking hell, Reddit, man. You need to get your shit together. I swear to God.
It's funny that, like, I because to me these are people that have no life, really. They're like, that's what it is to me, because I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft recently, because World of Warcraft has had like a season sort of update, and like there's new gears.
Sorry, just before you say that, by the way, the post got deleted overnight, and it claims it's because it was a duplicate post or topic. But I think the mods just wanted to take it down because of how toxic it was and had to give an excuse.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a duplicate. I wrote all that myself. How could it be a duplicate topic? I said it. Sorry. So anyway, carry on. Just thought it's worth finishing
yeah,
that.
no, I was just gonna say, like, it's the same in like World of Warcraft, because I've been playing a lot of that recently, and it's like, if you disagree with like the way a game works, or you're even just bad at the game, like, I've been doing a lot of dungeons in World of Warcraft to get this gear, and dungeons, because everything in World of Warcraft is exactly the same fucking gameplay loop all the time. Yeah, it's like you walk up to a monster and you fucking smack the monster by like pressing a bunch of different abilities. So to make bosses bosses different, they'll have like these weird fucking abilities, like that you have to then go into a separate tab and read, you know, like The Witcher, basically.
Yeah.
But worse than that, because it basically, if you've not read these entire fucking paragraphs exactly about what a boss does, then it can get your entire team wiped. And it can be stupid shit as well, like, oh, you're fighting this boss and the wind's blowing one direction. There's an actual mechanic for a boss. The wind is blowing in one direction, but if you're moving in an opposite direction to it, you immediately take a shit ton of damage and instantly die. So you have to walk with the wind, and it's like, okay, so I have to keep track of the wind, and it's like, oh, there's also these little blue orbs floating around that if you walk into them, they stun you. So then if the thing changes directions and you're standing downwind of it, then you instantly take, and it's stupid fucking shit like that. And you're not always gonna know everything about everything. Yeah.
Get good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you're not always going to know everything about everything. Like, you know, it's going to be a first or second time sometimes, like, running these dungeons. And it's like, people get so fucking mad in these dungeons that you're running. Yeah. And it's like, you're like, I mean, to the point where you'll fuck up once because of something that you didn't know, and then immediately people are typing and going like, "Oh, this is fucking ridiculous! How do you not know about this mechanic?" And it's like,
well, I think that seems to be more like a matchmaking issue. You shouldn't be matched with people of that high skill level, really, should you?
But it's also, it's like as well, it's like I say to him, it's like I'll type in, I'm like, bro, chill, just run the rest of the dungeon, because it's like we'll kill 2 bosses in this dungeon, we'll get halfway through, we'll fuck up on, I'll probably fuck up on one little bit, and like, just not even cause a team wipe, like, just I'll die and have to catch back up with the rest of the team, and then some cunt starts mouthing off like, oh, you didn't know that the green mushrooms like healed you, and that the purple ones did poison damage? You didn't know? How did you not know? And it's like, bro, I play this game semi-fucking casually.
I understand being upset at it. I do understand being upset at it, but it's the wrong direction. Like, don't be upset at you for that. Be upset at the game for matching you with someone. When you're taking it so seriously, how can it not tell that you're so serious into it and match you with other people who are more similar to you? That's the problem there.
Yeah.
Which is a problem, by the way, but if you said that on Reddit, somehow you get flamed.
No, I know, because Reddit is full of these people that have no life, that spend their entire life, quotation marks, fucking knowing everything about a particular game. So it's like, oh, well, of course I know that you have to be fighting this particular boss on a Tuesday while your left foot has a sock on and your right foot don't, and you're fucking doing the hokey pokey. It's like,
and your mum has to be hanging from the ceiling and spoon feeding you canned peaches.
And while you blast diarrhea into a fucking tub or some shit, like Cartman in that one episode. But it's like,
make sure your tongue's in the tub, otherwise you won't get double damage.
Yeah, I know. It's like, do you not know about the tongue tub? Do you know? Everybody knows about the tongue tub. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. And the thing is, one of the most annoying things about World of Warcraft, one of the most annoying things about World of Warcraft as well is that so many of the abilities look the same to other abilities that these like raid bosses do on you, but they can be completely different things. So like, something that happens a lot is that, like, a boss will cast an ability on you and, like, several other people in your dungeon or raid or whatever the fuck, and it'll be some sort of, like, area of effect spell, and you have this, like, circle around you when you have this on. And usually what one of those is, oh, this boss has cast a spell on you. If you stand near a bunch of people, it'll do more damage, and it'll do it to all of you, so which can cause a big part of your raid party to wipe. So what you do in that case is you'll walk away, so you'll take a hit of damage, like a fairly big hit, but you can be healed from it and it won't kill anybody in your party, and that's how you sort of deal with it. But then you'll go against a boss who does an ability on you that looks exactly like that. It's like the same asset, like that they're doing to show this thing, but then you'll walk away and you'll go blap and you're instant dead. And you're like, why did I instantly die? What was it this time? And then you fucking look into it and you go, oh no, this time...
For a start, looking into it all that time is insane.
Yeah. It's like, no, actually, this time, this circle that looks exactly like the circle from the other boss where I had to walk away from everybody, this time I had to be with everybody, because that actually makes it do less damage and spreads it out. Sorry, I keep smacking the fucking
mic. Couldn't have just been like a different colour or something.
No, it's like the same asset, the same colour, it's just done with a different boss, and this time it does the exact opposite fucking thing. And it's like, because I didn't know that, and I fucked up that one time, it's, oh my god, did you see that one guy there who died? Because
you just fucking sit at the game, just get good then. Just get good at the game then. /suicide watch.
That's how gamers are. Yeah. Fucking hell, people wonder. I swear I saw fairly recently Apex was declared as the most toxic community as well, and it's just it blows my mind how shit people are every day. Every day I get surprised by it somehow. Somehow people find new heights for how shit and awful it can be. So the last thing that I posted to do with that was this comment saying Reddit thinks I'm going to off myself as a result of some of the comments in this post, so I think I'm done replying. Got a private message with anti-aim game end advice. Enjoy your shitty game mode, fuckers. I appreciate you all regardless of the negativity. So yeah, that's what I said to do with that. But speaking of trying to kill yourself, fucking hell, I saw some weird shit the other day.
Yeah, what's this one?
I was walking to the shop.
Yeah.
And I got my stuff, got my little bag, and I'm walking home. And I have to cross like a main road. It's not massively busy. I don't know which direction you come from. If I like say the one that's kind of like down there, it's not massively busy, but kind of busy.
Yeah.
And I was about to cross it, and I saw this large man, like same height as me, maybe a tiny bit taller, rounder than me, but looked stocky.
Yeah.
Looked like he was almost definitely stronger than me.
He was like a 1930s boxer, like a fisticuffs boxer.
No, he was more portly than that.
He was a 1930s carnival act that gets shot in the belly with a cannonball.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
That's the one. And he was... The front door to his house was open.
Yeah.
And he was, like, coming down the drive, and there were two women. One who was, like, as tall as him, and one who was just, like, very average woman size, like, for the UK. So she wasn't slim,
5'3",
but she was,
5'.
like...
Oh, you mean, like, okay, I see.
Both. So she was, like, 5'4",
okay.
kind of normal, slightly round build, like people normally are in the UK. And the other one was
like
slightly
Sandra, like that.
Well, she had a Yorkshire accent, so not quite.
I don't know how those talk.
And so they were, but one was grabbing each of his arm, and they were both trying to like hold him back, like pull him back towards the house.
Yeah.
And he was like dragging them with him down this drive, trying to like walk out into the road. Like there was like a big struggle. Yeah. They were like going, "Stop, come back!" And he was like going, "Ah!" I was thinking, what the fuck? I don't know why this was happening.
Like, I had help, but I've got fucking like a frozen chicken in my bag. I gotta get back.
Well, I quickly looked on the road to see if any cars were coming and ran across I had my earphones in, so I had to kind of drag them out and put them in my pocket. And I'm like, do you need some help? What the fuck?
Oh, so you actually did what you did?
Yeah, I try and help people if I see them in a bad scenario.
This seemed like a thing that you would just stare and watch.
Well, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. That's why I kind of said, do you need help? Or is this like meant to be happening?
Yeah.
And I think as soon as I came up, the guy kind of got slightly spooked and kind of started to go inside. So one of the women said straight away, yes, please. But then the other one like, oh, no, actually, we're all right.
Yeah.
Because he kind of started going back. I think the guy was mentally disabled.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident he was, actually. So I think that's why I kind of almost spooked him to go back inside, because I'd not like sprinted at him. I'd kind of like fast jogged to be like, is everyone all right?
You ran at him like that guy runs at the camera in... what the fuck is it?
I know the meme.
Get out! Get out when he's running at the phone. That was the guy's POV of you running over.
I thought you meant the cop from...
from Cloudy with a Chance of Meat. Yeah, that's right. So you're running like
yeah. No, not quite. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really weird. Like, what the fuck? Like, he almost fucking got there as well.
Yeah.
And I think their adrenaline must have kicked in at the last second to like just rag him. And a car was fucking coming at that point as well. And they wouldn't have been able to stop.
Yeah.
But by the time I had managed to get there, the kind of adrenaline managed to pull him back a little bit, and then he obviously, like I said, got spooked inside. But
maybe you saved his life by scaring him. Did you put on a mask and run over and go? What fucking Ben Kenobi does it to the Sand People? And you go, where you went?
No, he just went inside. So I don't know. One of them just kind of said he's got no road sense or something. I was thinking, road sense. He
Yeah.
knew exactly where the road was. He was trying to get into
Listen, he
it.
had a great sense of where that road was.
I think maybe he was potentially just trying to escape.
Yeah.
Trying to escape, and just didn't give a fuck that there was
Yeah.
a road there. Which I don't know, is mildly concerned if you think about it, because
Yeah.
maybe that guy wasn't meant to be there. You know, maybe he should have tried to escape.
Yeah, maybe you should have done. Maybe they were like poisoning his food, and he was like, "Let me out," and they were like, "No, stay." And then you scared him. You scared him because he thought that you were like an accomplice, and he was like, "Oh, I better go in before this guy beats me." Then. And now they lock the door on him. It's like, yes, now we can keep poisoning you.
They keep him in chains.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But that was fucking weird. That's all I can say.
I had a bit of a moment, kind of like it wasn't like that, but it was like a sudden sort of like, oh my god, somebody's like in peril, I guess, like danger. I was at work and I'm working on a hospital that's quite near Jake's house. So I'm not going to say where. I'm also not going to say where it is because I don't want a random fan from fucking Seattle or wherever they come from, like being like, I'm your biggest fan. I came to where you work.
Greasy will turn up.
So Dalton will show up.
Oh no! Don't want to see him.
Yeah, but so we're working on this hospital, and the bit that we're working on is next to a sort of like elderly sort of like walk-in clinic bit, you know.
Oh, that's good. Not a lot of the elderly can walk.
No, they can't. That's why like a lot of them get wheeled in by their caretakers.
So you call it a wheeling then?
Call it a drive-through.
I don't know why I didn't expect that one.
anyway, so I'm outside, like I'm like talking to one of my bosses about something, and we just fucking heard like a something, like, you know, when you distinctively, you know, when a guy hits the floor, you know,
Yeah,
you know,
I
'cause,
think.
like you can tell when like something like gets knocked over or something drops, but when like a dude hits the deck,
It's like one thud.
yeah,
rather than like-
and then proceeding the thud immediately was so it's like
an enjoyable thud.
No.
Was it like that?
That meme, yeah. But anyway, so we fucking like look over, like it's crazy because you know how it's a building site, right? And there's fucking power tools and like shit, and like lads going whoa, fucking shouting and everything. Yeah. But like one dude hits the fucking deck, and immediately everybody stop what they're doing and like turn to where like the thing. And what happened was there was an old guy, like 80s maybe older, walking with his also old wife, like on the other side of the street. And I mean,
God, so fairly far then.
I mean, it's not super far, but it's like a sort of like
like 20 meters,
like 15, maybe something like that.
Okay.
Like two cars can't go through this stretch.
Okay.
Like only one car could go through this stretch, so maybe like 10 meters or something. But so like he'd gone down on the other side, but like all it was were like just the pavement slightly dipped a bit.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you fucking know what old people are like. Like, he slightly put his foot wrong, and his entire body's just gone down, and he's hit the deck.
Being old, so
I know, and like his wife was because like immediately a bunch of us went to go help him up. I went to go help the guy up, but like by that like three guys had already started helping up, and you know when you just think any more here is just gonna be in the way. So I didn't. I was like, you know, I'll just stand here, I guess, while this old guy gets up. But like
he would have broken everything.
No, that's what I was thinking as well, because like they were helping him get up, and his wife was sort of like going, "Oh, well, he can't get up himself," or you know, he's stuff like that.
Do you know what's annoying with people like that though? When people get bone idle about not having like a wheelchair or something, or a walker.
Yeah,
or
he should have been on a Zimmer frame if he
don't
went down
want
that.
to use a walker and shit like that. When it's like, fucking hell, you're literally closer to a skeleton than a human. I
know. Like, if the dude would have had a Zimmer frame, he would have been totally fine, and this wouldn't have happened. He must have very slightly placed his foot wrong and like gone down, and like that. That's what I was thinking. I was like, holy shit, if this guy hasn't like broken 3 ribs. And I was looking at him as he got up, and the second that I saw that, his head just started gushing blood.
Oh, God.
And it's like, fucking, he's probably slightly...
Midsummer was right.
Yeah.
You shouldn't live that old.
No, so I was like, Jesus Christ. That's basically it. That's the entire story. But it was just like... it just fucking it freaked me out a bit, to be honest. It was
Getting
like,
old is my biggest fear. And it reminds me of my girlfriend's Nanan, because she's quite old at this point. She's not that bad. Well, maybe close, but she's not quite that bad. But she can just about walk on her own still.
Yeah.
She can get about her house enough. It's a bungalow. It's only got 1 floor, so she don't have to go up and down any stairs. But she needs help, like, you know, our front door, it's got 1 step up. And she needs help doing that step, for example. So if she's walking any sort of slightly longer distance, she needs to have a walker.
Yeah.
And she didn't want one for ages. But you know what ends up happening? And I've seen this multiple times, because I worked with elderly for helping them with technology and stuff like that in one of my previous jobs. So I saw some repeat people coming. As soon as they get one of those fucking walkers, they're so proud of that shit.
Yeah.
They want to show it off to you. And look, oh, it can do this. If you unfold it, it's got a little seat. And you can sit there. And as soon as they give in, they're like, look how good this is. It's like, fucking come on. You should have done this ages ago. I'm going to do it next year. Why not? Just to prove a point.
Yeah, my back's hurting. I might as well get a fucking Zimmer frame,
Yeah.
I used to work a lot with old people. Have I ever talked on the podcast about my work experience?
What, like when you were at school when you didn't work experience?
Yeah.
I don't even think I know about this.
Oh, right. I worked in a care home.
Oh, God. Do you know what instantly came to my mind is the In-Betweeners episode when they're in a care home.
Yeah, it was funny. So me and this other girl from high school both got it.
You didn't, if I remember right, you didn't pick this, by the way, did you? Because when it comes to work experience, you can find your own, or if you can't really find one or don't really care, the school will place you somewhere.
In a sense, I did, because at the time, one of the things that I was thinking about maybe doing as a career was getting into cooking. So I'd put down, I know. So
that's really ironic, Neil.
Yeah. So I'd put down, like, on one of my possible like placement things for work experience, like anything to do with catering, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be like prepping meals in a nursing home as your work experience,"
right? And
I was like, "Oh, okay, sound." And they were like, "Oh, also this girl's going to the same place."
Give her a name.
Fucking Rihanna. Yeah.
Did she bring her umbrella?
I actually feel like it was something like Rihanna as well. So anyway, Rihanna. Me and Rihanna went to the same the same elderly like care home. But when I got there, she was there as like a sort of event planner thing. So so she was meant to be like planning activities and stuff for like the residents to do while they were there.
Yeah.
But when I got there and I was like, "Hey, I'm here to do the catering thing," they were like, "Fuck, what fucking catering thing? What do you mean?"
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, I've been placed here for work experience," and it turned out that they'd put us both down for work experience, but doing the same thing as like planners.
Okay.
So they were like, we haven't got like anything for you to do in our kitchen. Like they were specifically like, because of the fact that they're like elderly, we need to make
they
sure
eat like half a raisin a day.
Yeah. But also it's like some of them have got strict dietary requirements that we need to make sure we get right, or they'll just explode. So it's like, so I ended up doing like event planning. So activity planning at this.
They all played Sly Cooper for a year straight.
I weren't there that long. I think I was there for like a week or two or something.
Right.
But basically, it was all it sort of ended up being was like, we'd sort of like clean up cups of tea after them, and then we'd go in and we'd be like, right, we were making bunting and stuff at one point. Like we're just doing little things like that. But there were a couple sort of like, a few standout moments of it, and so one of them, first of all, there's this very sweet old lady. I can't remember her name, but
Give her a name.
I'll like Beatrice,
Okay.
like Beatrice, an old lady name. And she used to tell me every time she saw me that one of her sons was like a Radio 1 DJ,
Right.
or something like quite a fairly
Do you
like
think he
well
actually
known.
was?
But no, I don't.
do you think
I
she'd
don't,
gone mental?
No, I don't know. Maybe she had fucking gone mental. But like every time without fail, she'd always tell me about him, and I thought that was sweet.
They do that. I've got a similar one just
Yeah.
before you go. When I used to do technology for, it was basically one of the places we did it was in a care home that the
Yeah.
council kind of managed because it was helping tenants with technology. This fella would turn up every time with something, some sort of question, some sort of. I liked that he just wanted to know more about technology because a lot of older people don't give a fuck and they need to give more of a fuck. But he would run there. He'd run miles there. He was 90 at least.
Yeah.
He was old as fuck.
Yeah.
And he would run, and I'd see him out and about every so often, and he'd be fucking jogging
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's awesome.
The dude was slim as shit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
apparently he'd broken some sort of world record in quotes. It was like a Yorkshire record.
Okay.
It was like, I mean, technically it was a world record
That's
because
not-
no one else in the world had beaten it. But
Nobody
it
else
was
had
like
set it,
a very specific
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
But every time, sometimes multiple times during me going through this, he'd have to talk to me about it
Yeah.
for as much as he could get in. I get it.
Yeah.
They're trying to relive the glory days. I do
Yeah.
that now.
Yeah, no, I'll talk. I guess I'll talk about this bit second, so that we don't end on a completely terrible thing. But
Oh, God.
they had. We were mostly downstairs, like on the like the ground floor with these people, and they were fine. All of them were fine. All of these people that were in this home. And then one day we got to go up to the first floor. Like it was on the ground floor and the first floor. So yeah. And we got to like see all the people on that floor, and fuck me, it was like Arkham Asylum. It was like fucking mental. It was we got sat in the living room, like in the main living room part downstairs, like the downstairs bit of it. It was just fucking people sat around having cups of tea and like playing dominoes and shit. It was like standard fucking normal
stuff.
thing. You got upstairs. There was literally one person had a straitjacket on, and actually had a straitjacket on and was going.
Wow.
Was sat in a chair going like that, fucking freaking the fuck out.
No.
And it was like it was in a room full of people. It's like in a fucking living room, and then another one just sat there and shit themselves. Like just forcefully shit themselves while this person was screaming. Like one was fucking drooling in a corner. It was like Arkham Asylum. It was fucking insane.
God.
And it was like, the ladies that worked down, like you could tell the ladies that worked downstairs with those like patients, and the people that worked upstairs, because they looked so fucking done with everything.
Yeah.
Like they look like they want to blow their fucking brains out. And
Surely
it's like
the ones that worked upstairs had to be paid more.
You'd
they
hope
have
so.
to have specialist skills
You'd fucking
or
hope
something.
so. But like it was crazy as well though, because it's like I only went up there once in like these 2 weeks, and every other day was like I'm down here and it's chill as fuck, and I'm just hanging about with these old people, and it is alright life. I'm like making bunting and shit.
Yeah.
And then upstairs, it's like you've got the Joker like fucking planning how to take out like Gotham Bank. It was fucking crazy.
I guess it must be that downstairs they maybe could go out and about with them. But upstairs there'll be the people who can't go anywhere.
Are either in that like rec room or confined to the rooms because they're fucking.
Imagine how bad the
ones.
ones that can't go in the rec room must have been.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah. And you know where I say this like, oh my god, these people are living so close to me, but like you know where I'm not gonna say the name of the pub, but that pub that's like quite close to where I live. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like the street next to that. That's where
Wow.
this place was, which was
Pretty
awesome for me
close.
because I just like woke up at like 8 and walked up to my thing.
I'm
But
pretty sure my girlfriend's mum's house was closer to like a straight up mental asylum. I'm going to show Judd where I mean, but obviously not put it on the screen. And that is like even worse than obviously, you know, an elderly home thing. Where am I? Okay, so you know where this is. Yeah. You know this. And then, so we've got this. Sorry, this is terrible content. This road here.
No, it's because he doesn't want to say the names of any of this
and then
area that we live in.
You keep going down here, and then that's where
places.
Jasmine's mum lives.
Okay.
And the mental asylum thing is here. Look.
Fucking hell.
So it's literally like steps away. I mean, when it comes to actual roads, you have to go out there and go down there. But like,
Just you know, if somebody managed to break out, they just could be within her garden within like minutes. You know, just that close.
And a lot of shit goes off on the main road near there, because literally, like the estate across. So where my girlfriend's mum lives is between a mental asylum, quite a shitty estate, and then a really shitty estate where there's almost like. Not an immigrant problem as in there's too many immigrants there, as in there's quite a few immigrants from like Eastern Europe, quite a few from like Asia, and then a bunch of racist white people all living in the same bit. So that's what the immigrant problem is, that it just ends up being like a bit of a turf war. So
it's like Saints Row 2 down there where you can just go fight over like different parts all.
Yeah. So
but
wow.
Anyway, the last little just thing the story I wanted to talk about at that place was there was a guy who I used to sort of like talk to the most, one of the residents there, and I think it was called like George or something, and he was usually fairly quiet, but he used to. He used to just have some like funny things to say about certain stuff. But one time we were playing like it was me, Rihanna, if that was her name. I can't remember her real name.
It was.
And then the lady who was like sort of like looking after us both there at work experience.
Unhinged is right. I think we would probably fit in the upper floor if anything.
Then it was like a couple of the residents who were like playing dominoes with us or something, and they were talking about the war. They're talking about World War II. You know, as elderly people like to do. And you know, the other resident was a lady, and she was like saying, "Oh, I can just remember, you know, like." I was a young lady at that time, and I was hiding with my family during, you know, the Blitz or whatever. And then she's like, oh yeah, what, you know, this lady was looking after us. She's like, oh, what did you do, George? And George is usually quite, even though he's like has a bit of something to say about something. Yeah, he's usually like looking away. A few words, and he's sort of like looking away, paying half attention. But the second that she was like, "What were you doing the war George?" He was immediately there. He was like immediately. It was like when during the war, I was in the Alps skiing. I was part of the ski patrol. I was shooting people while I was skiing, and he stood up as he was telling us all. He pointed his fake gun out. I was looking at him like smiling, going, "Yeah." He was going. He's going. I was skiing. I was skiing down these Alps. I'm fucking shooting these krauts. I'm fucking gunning them down. I'm fucking gunning these krauts down. And the woman's like going, all right, George. All right. I went, how many did you get? Fucking loads of them. It's like that.
Oh god, that's the two types of. Well, there's like three types of people you get in the war. The first who were in the war and like to talk about who's alive. There were the people who. Well, there was the women who didn't go much and kind of stayed at home and had the home stories. By the way, Mel Gatti in chat wants to know where they can donate grippy socks. I don't fucking know. You can donate them to charity, probably.
We don't have a PO box.
We don't have anywhere where you can send us socks. But you can donate the link below, probably on Kick, right? That you can donate money, and then donate actually it spins a wheel for us to drink. I've not disabled that, so sure. Yeah, the other types are that obviously guys who were in the war.
Yeah.
And it's either ones where they don't want to talk about whatever the fuck they had to do.
Yeah.
Or the ones that are like really fucking passionate about it.
Yeah. My great granddad was one of the ones who didn't want to talk about what he did in the war.
Yeah, that was same with mine. I think that's the most common one.
Yeah.
Because if you really enjoyed war and got passionate about it and wanted to fucking kill a bunch of Krauts, like you were saying, is that a slur now?
I was just thinking that. I don't.
Let me Google it.
A slur.
Is Kraut a slur? It's just
an ethnic slur for a German
from 1980. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Literally didn't know.
Oh well.
Well, it was George or whatever saying it, not us.
Here we go. Is kraut an offensive word? It's a slur that over the years slowly lost its meaning for the receiver. Okay.
Yeah. So it's almost seems like it's as bad as calling white people crackers.
I was gonna say I think it's probably as bad as calling British people limey.
Yeah, something like that. Probably maybe should avoid saying it, but not that much. I don't know.
You know what? One that you definitely can't say.
Don't then. And on that note, folks, we're done. Streams badly on Kick and YouTube, podcasts badly on Spotify, YouTube, and Kick, clips badly on TikTok and YouTube, tweets badly on X, aka Twitter. Bye.